Ashley, this is a crazy fucking show. This is a crazy fucking show.
Why? I seriously remember so little. And I'm
It was
really
a long
glad.
time ago,
It
for
was
one.
a long time ago. And also we have had 7 different lifetimes during that because
Yes.
COVID happened. And I mean, I don't know. I'm in active memory loss these days.
The original unofficial fan podcast for Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles and the Lives of the Mayfair Witches. Welcome to the Coven, you butterscotch bitches.
You butterscotch bitches.
Hello there. I am Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven, and welcome to our latest episode. If you are watching this on YouTube or you're listening to it in the podcast apps, then you are seeing us when we're sort of in a hiatus, technically, I suppose. Our regular Articulate Coven episodes are not being recorded new right now. Patrons are still getting new content every week with the Afterlife segments. And if you like the works of Mike Flan-Again, you can catch Ashley and I and the rest of our Coven members doing cool stuff every week with Flan-Again, our sister show where we're discussing the works of Mike Flan-Again. We wanted to put out new things for you here on Articulate Coven, though, as well. And we've got some formerly patron-only episodes that we can drop. We discussed Hulu's series Castle Rock, adapting many of the works of Stephen King. Ashley and I talked about all 20 episodes week by week, and we're going to start dropping those for you. I want to remind you, you can always get everything that we do early, ad-free, more often at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free. I hope you enjoy this episode, and do check us out over at Flan-Again. We've already covered the episodes of Midnight Mass and Fall of the House of Usher. We're going to be talking about the Haunting of Hill House, the Haunting of Bly Manor, the Midnight Club eventually. Carrie is coming later this year from Amazon. We're going to be talking about that. And someday in the not too distant future, Mike Flan-Again and Amazon are going to be making a Dark Tower series adapting the opus magnus of Stephen King's work. We're going to talk about that when it's time for it too. Until then, enjoy this from the Articulate Coven. Welcome to the Articulate Coven Afterlife. We are your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven.
It's so, and I forgot how great this cast is. You know, like, you've got, Melanie Linsky. And then in this episode, playing her sister, I love that gal too. What is her name?
I can't think of it, but yes, I was like, oh, that's a what's her face too.
I love her.
Here, I'll tell you this. In retrospect, Muschietti, however you say his name, Andy and his team for Welcome to Derry, absolutely were fans of this show too. Like, they got in on the remixing and the connecting and the hinting at and the telling in the corners. The flashback nature of this story even connects with what they were doing already in Derry. I mean, it's again, none of these are exactly perfectly original ideas. Many of them are in the novels that these are based on, but I'm saying you could run this show now, and I think people would be like, oh, a new Stephen King show.
Yeah,
if you've not watched Castle Rock, go watch Castle Rock.
Yeah, it's great. Allison Tolman is her name. Allison Tolman.
Yes. Okay.
I love her. She's so fantastic.
Okay. I love the fact that we get this prison break, but it's all in his head. This is
so crazy.
First of all, it's scary as fuck. The whole thing's scary as fuck, and yet nothing basically happens the whole time
Nothing happens, but it's so, like, him almost shooting the guy, like, oh, Christ, he's having a really, really fucked up day. In Shawshank, which is going to be a messed up day anyway. And you find out this guy is like, he doesn't even want to be working. He's like, if there was a Walmart nearby, do you think I would be working in Shawshank?
I wrote that line later in one of my notes. Yeah, would I be, let me see, where is it? Because the exact line.
It's really good.
Do you think I'd be working at a prison if there was a Walmart within 60 miles of here? And like, First of all, no. Also, funny enough, today, after I'd watched this episode and taken all my notes, I was watching a reel where it's one of those things that came in like my For You page or whatever. But it was some sort of podcast that had featured a whole panel full of porn stars. And one of them was saying at the beginning of COVID, they were panicking about their lifestyle and their career choices, right? And they said, you know, I was talking about In and Out because like a manager, like they make six figures if, you know, you do good. And the guy and the podcast host was like, you managing other porn stars? And she goes, no, In and Out Burger.
The burger.
And he goes, you what? And she goes, yeah, I was talking about maybe going and doing In and Out management. And he goes, really? I went,
It was.
would I be working at a prison if there was a Walmart within 60 miles of here? That lady was just looking at her options, is all I'm saying.
In and Out management. You could do worse for yourself. You could have to work in fucking Shawshank.
My fucking 17-year-old's working at Whataburger $12.50 an hour. I was like, that's a good wage, son. Good on you.
That is an honest wage for a young man.
Anyway, okay, just one of those. First of all, Terry O'Quinn's I'd forgotten that he narrates this episode. I had really convinced myself that like we only got the one episode with Terry, and I was bummed because he's an actor I like quite a lot. I love his narration here, though. We get these notes from him throughout the thing. Just one of those bad towns you've heard about. We know different. It's not luck. It's a plan. Remember the dog? The strangler?
Cujo?
Sure you do. What about the stories that don't make headlines? Okay. And again, you talk about not remembering anything. First of all, I forgot it was him on the football field, even though he literally says it, I think, at some point. But he gets knocked out on the football field and like maybe he's not going to get up during a high school game.
Right. And then
he gets up, but his younger brother, who is the Cougar mascot, jumps off of the damn schoolhouse and dies on the pavement with his hand twitching in the blood. Oh man, the twitching hand was
and the mascot glove had come off of his hand too, like, and it's over there and it looks like a dismembered hand, you know. It's so God.
They say
that's not how I don't want to go in a mascot costume, Joel.
They say it wasn't me, it was this place. And the thing is, they're right. Okay, great montage here too, because we see like 4 or 5 other terrible things happening, right? Like a woman kills her husband by piping in the exhaust from the car. You know, like we see, I can't remember, there's 2 or 3 others. Somebody dies in a bathtub. Yeah. Anyway, brilliant opening to this episode. Just a brilliant opening.
And just, you know, like completely on point with like one of the greater themes of these books that are so intertwined, which is that, you know, these places are in fact part of the problem.
Well, also the mundanity of evil. We've talked about this before, like, right? Like, yes, there are evils like a rapist pedophile president who seems to be above the law because he owns the Supreme Court, right? Okay, that's like an It level Pennywise evil. But also, there's just mundane, everyday evil that we overlook and ignore and don't ever talk about as a systemic problem because we're all so focused on the fucking giant evil clown spider demon, right?
Or, or that seems so absurd, you convince yourself that that's not real.
There couldn't be an island where they take lots of girls from across the world to and sell them to rich, powerful men. That could never be possible. We meet Jackie Torrance in this episode, played by Jane Levy. This her. Is okay. So I'd forgotten the connection. I had to look it up. This is Jack Torrance's niece. So this is Danni Torrance's cousin. Somewhere Dr. Sleep is happening as this woman is bedeviling young Henry Deaver in Castle Rock.
She's like,
okay,
hey, can I see your feet? so the audacity to just ask him, heard you
I'll
lost
show
3
you
toes.
mine.
I'll show you mine. I really like her. She's a hilarious character. Very interesting.
Reminds me a lot of Britta from Community, like, but played straight. Okay, he had caught the devil. It was a kid, and he's locked him up. Don't let that kid out. Alan goes and meets the new warden and just straight up tells her, which is great. Like, and again, I did not remember this. And we get to the end of this thing, and Alan's like, we're about to unveil secrets about what Alan knows and how he's involved in it. But up at the front of the episode, he's like, hey, warden, 30 years ago, he locked up that kid, said he was the devil. Don't you ever let him see the sunlight again. I wouldn't do it if I were you. And then, like, disappears again. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Scott Glenn's so good in this. I'm so glad we have him.
He's so good. He's so good. I love him.
Good man, a decent man. Everyone says so. So he must have had a good reason. The warden just talks herself into it. She's just sitting there in the... First of all, I love that she's sitting in this made-up jail cell in the water tank or whatever, right? Like, she's sitting down there in the dungeon talking herself into doing evil. I do not think that is a coincidence on the filmmakers. This conversation could have happened in her office, is my point. They're down there for a reason.
Different places you could have this conversation.
Yeah.
That is not in an actual cage.
So the lackey does what he had suggested originally. We're going to put this dude in a cell with a serial killer and just let nature take its course. They do. They find a good psychopath, neo-Nazi.
Oh, man, just covered in Nazi tattoos.
Yeah.
Real piece of shit.
I love this line. I love this line. Looks like you gentlemen are double booked. Austerity measures. Whew. Okay.
I mean, this is exactly the shit that you expect to be happening at Shawshank. If you have any,
that's fair.
If you've had any sort of dealings with Stephen King novels and the way Shawshank is mentioned across the board, not just in, Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, but like, I mean, that's where everybody goes to prison if they've done anything horrifying. You either go to Shawshank, or if you're crazy, you go to Juniper Hills.
The Green Mile is not at Shawshank.
No.
Where is the Green Mile prison? It is also in Maine, though, right?
No, that takes place in Louisiana.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. That's a Southern thing. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Good call. God, I got to reread that book again. I've got the audiobook queued up.
You should listen to it. That is a very enjoyable audiobook.
Yeah.
That's how
I'm
I read
excited
it the first
to get
time,
back
actually, was the audiobook.
I'm watching currently, what am I watching? I'm watching currently the, Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck and Michael Clark Duncan. God. And I was thinking it's not a great movie. I'm watching all the old MCU movies.
Oh, that's fun.
I was
that's
thinking, a fun idea. Like all the pre-MCU movies, even I'm going through all of them.
Yeah, that's great.
But there are things to like about that one, and both of them are like doing their best in it. But I did think immediately when Michael came on the screen, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to watch Green Mile now." But I got to read it first.
Yeah.
Okay. Melanie Linsky's character, we see her, and we've seen her looking through this window before, but it is clear now she's been watching Henry Deaver's house for a long, long time. Pretty obsessed. Wrote his name 1,000,000 times in a notebook. Obsessed.
Yep.
Okay. We talked a lot in our Welcome to Derry discussions about interracial relationships and the stigma, especially in the 60s where Welcome to Derry's season 1 happened. But so these kids would have been in the 80s, right? Like this would have been like the 80s.
Or is it like 90?
Or the late 80s. Good call. It's early 90s, like 93, 94 or something.
I feel like
91. There you go. It's the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yes. No, in the opening, you're right. It does say the early 90s. It's like 91 or 92. You're right. But still, in this town, with a kid who's adopted anyway, and like people are they look askance at him to begin with. And Melanie's character is weird too. Like,
yeah, she's
Molly
obviously
is already,
a little weirdo. Yeah.
Yes, this would have been the ruin for both families, and it would have been a big to-do. And so, like, whatever Molly had in her head, obviously there is angst and anxiety there, and I love how we're able to see that like almost immediately. All of that is
I mean,
without
that
words
actress
almost.
is...
Even the young actress is fantastic,
Yeah,
too.
she's very good. When she sees... I think it's in the previous episode when she's driving and she sees Henry and, like, the journey that her face goes through in the course of 15 seconds is just... That woman can act her nuts off. I love Melanie Linsky. If you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, highly recommend that crazy shit. It is bonkers, but she is awesome in it.
So her sister shows up for lunch, and her sister says dismissively, undiagnosed psychic affliction, and Molly corrects her. There are mirror neurons. Okay, let's hold that for later. I think Molly's got the shine, first of all, is I think part of her problem there.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. And that's probably why she's fascinated and obsessed with Henry.
All right, so Mandy, since you picked on me about my Lestat mental gymnastics, I'm going to pick on you a little bit here. Bill Skarsgård says, he mumbles to a Nazi boy in his cell, don't want to touch me. And I just wrote a note. Mandy Taylor and a handful of our other listeners are here to hard disagree.
Yes, yes.
They do in fact want to touch Bill.
They will guard that scars. No matter how creepy he is, no matter.
Boy, and he's real creepy. He gives this man permanent everywhere, all over 4th degree cancer.
Yeah.
He's got cancer in his liver, his lungs, his heart.
Do you put that under your special skills on your resume?
Yeah.
I can fill a motherfucker up with cancer.
Metastatic cancer. Listen, you would take that X-Men seriously,
yeah,
okay?
That's
you put him down there with Storm.
If you know that guy, please give us his number. We'd like to meet.
We got some people we want to send him to see.
Look, listen.
Goodness.
Welcome to a brand new government watch list, Joel.
Okay. 2 things. First of all, Castle Rock, Jackie tells us Castle Rock is literally no longer on the map. They what's the word? They disincorporated as a city, as a town. That's weird.
Doesn't Castle Rock at some point get destroyed?
So I feel like, and it's been a long time since I've read the novel. The movie doesn't end this way. But I was thinking maybe the end of Needful Things is sort of like that. That is not the last Castle Rock book, though.
No.
I don't think I've read there's one that is billed, like the subtitle is the final Castle Rock story or something like that. I don't think I've ever read that one. So maybe it does. Maybe it literally falls off the cliff.
And then that's kind of like a reference to that. Was what I was wondering.
Okay. Freaking Henry comes to bother Alan out here just trying to dig up a dog body to prove to his woman that it's not alive again.
He's so
and Henry's
calm.
Slinging shit.
And
so calm.
Acting like this is the most normal thing to be doing.
Okay. But that's the sort of, I told you all the story earlier in the again, when we were there in the bathroom on our knees with the towels and everything else, we weren't continuously going can you imagine we're doing this? Can you believe? No, it's just life. It's like you just take the next thing that comes along. Henry barks at Scott Glenn, though. She seemed fine this morning. Mm-hmm. And he says, well, next appointment's in November. You free in November? You can come tell the doctor yourself. Oh, I felt that argument so strongly. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'll just say again, none of my siblings lived near enough to deal with quite all of this, and many of them had opinions. Are you free in November? Are you free? Okay.
Yeah.
It would take an act of God to get you into that prison. I love watching it dawn on Henry's. He literally, his eyes just light up. He goes, I could just take a Bible. I could just take a Bible.
Super smart. Love this move.
Adolf has retired from his prison career as well as old Terry Quinn. Not exactly the same way. Okay, and then just as Bill is shoved out into the yard, we hear, "Never again let him see the light of day. That's what God told me." Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
Whew. I don't remember what happens. Like, my brain is so broken.
I don't know where this season goes. I'm so excited, honestly.
I remember what happens with Alan. I do remember that.
I primarily remember Sissy Spacek's story. I remember the one episode in particular where we see from her perspective, which is so brilliant.
So weird.
There's a great line here. "I feel so at ease knowing that Castle Rock has a defender, even in the dead of night." Batman. Alan, what you been doing the last 30 years? Alan Pangborn, paging Alan Pangborn. I think it's going to be a problem. Man, real good show. Good show. I'm so surprised that you and I weren't. I mean, I know we both talked about liking the show back in the day when it was on, and we talked a little bit about it in one episode of this show, but like, I don't remember being like a proselytizer for it. I'm going to start telling, if y'all ain't seen Castle Rock, you like Welcome to Derry. Yeah, man. It is great. It is
really well done. And everything I remember about the second season, I really liked too. Like, I don't even remember what happened that made me like quit watching. I don't know what happened.
Give it up. Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I think it was more just life than the show, right?
Like, I'm sure. It had nothing to do with the show. Yeah, 100%. But I'm, like when we're going through the file that had all the newspaper clippings in it, I was like, oh, that's Cujo. And they're talking about this and they're talking about that.
So many good ones of there. I mean, even just in the beginning when he does do you remember the dog? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, we remember the dog. Yeah, we remember the dog.
And the body they found by the train tracks, that was another reference. The body they found by the train tracks.
It was the year after they found the boy's body by the train tracks. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, looking forward to episode 3 of this. Thank you, our patrons, for making this all possible. And we'll be back with episode 3 next week. So stay tuned. We got a lot of as a matter of fact, I believe it adds up that we've got more of these than we do of Interview with the Vampire. So we'll be past our rewatch when we finish up season 2 of Castle Rock.
Makes me mad. They don't give us enough interview.
Ain't that the truth? They TV producers.
Don't make me wait 2 years for 7 episodes.
We're not that mad because we want some interviews leading up to season 3. 100%. Please.
We're not mad. Just please. We're not mad at all.
I sent emails today to speaking of Stephen King, I sent emails to Amazon to try to hook us up with some Carrie coverage so that we can talk about the Carrie series whenever it comes out this year. And I sent emails again to AMC about pre-run press coverage for it because it's my understanding that they're starting to book some of that stuff. So hello, we would like to talk to somebody.
We are here.
Anyway, all right. Until next time, we have been your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley,
and we are the Articulate Coven. Hey, thanks for enjoying these Afterlife segments. These were formerly patron-only recordings, and you can get stuff like this and everything that we do early, ad-free, more often at articulatecoven.com/join for just $2 or more a month. Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan-Again, covering the works of Mike Flan-Again.